And President-elect Trump is claiming a huge victory on the border crisis after talks with Mexico's president. The president-elect, writing, quote, just had a wonderful conversation with the new president of Mexico. She has agreed to stop migration through Mexico and into the United States, effectively closing our southern border. He went on to say they also spoke about what can be done to stop the massive influx of drugs into the United States and also U.S. consumption of these drugs, calling it a very productive conversation. Now, in a follow-up post, he added, quote, Mexico will stop people from going to our southern border effective immediately. This will go a long way towards stopping the illegal invasion of the USA. We welcome now Republican strategist Whitley Yates and Democratic strategist Theron Bond, former candidate for the Memphis City Council District 6. Thank you, ladies, both for being here. Happy Thanksgiving. Whitley, I'd like to start with you. You know, we saw very similar tariff threats during Trump's last presidency about we're going to impose tariffs if you don't come to the table and talk about immigration into the U.S. And Mexico did come to the table, worked on border issues, and the numbers dropped. So do you believe this threat of tariffs on the country that we've heard repeatedly on the campaign trail is the same strategy at play today?
Absolutely, I do. And I think if you've ever read The Art of the Deal in Trump's books, he talks about making these types of deals and placing people in situations where it's either fight or flight. And it looks like they are willing to work with us. And I really feel like only Trump can make deals that turn conversations into commitments that provide strength and action to the American people.
So, Theron, Sheinbaum says Mexico is already, quote, taking care of migrant caravans. And she went on to say that her country's position is essentially not to full-on close the borders. However, she did also initially call this conversation with President-elect Trump excellent on X. So what do you make of her follow-up and the discrepancies we're now seeing between the two leaders about what happened on this call?
I think the story that President Sheinbaum presents versus President-elect Trump are quite different. What she did present are facts and data. She said that, you know, those illegal weapons that are being confiscated in her country have been coming from our country, the United States. She also mentioned that she didn't have concepts of a plan. She had facts, data, and figures in support of things that she provided that alluded to what she has been doing in Mexico, what has been put in place. And I think that's quite different from what President-elect Trump said on Truth Social. She presented the ways that she has been taking care of things in Mexico. She has presented ways that she has been vital to the immigration process. And she also told the truth about what the United States of America's part has been in this. Information about that conversation when we're talking about a conversation between world leaders.
Whitley, I'll give you a chance to respond, and then I wanted to ask about another layer of this situation as well.
I mean, it's no surprise that Mexico has facts and figures about what's happening in America that's impacting Mexico, just like we have what's happening here that's impacting coming from their migration. So I'm not surprised that she had the facts and the figures to let Trump know that, hey, there are weapons coming across this border into Mexico that are detrimentally impacting the Mexican citizens. So that's what should be happening. Both world leaders should be advocating for their position so that they understand each other and can work together to build common ground on policies that progress their people.
So I wanted to ask you. Oh, go ahead.
I think that's a bit different than the story that President-elect Trump paints when he talks about guns and other illegal weapons and other illegal drugs that come into the United States from other countries. And he quite often lists Mexico as one of those countries. And what she has painted is the story that, no, this is the other way around. But President-elect Trump significantly failed to mention that.
You know, two things can be.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.